Hi, it's Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and yes, it's another USB BIOS flashback video. Hopefully you're not getting sick of these yet. I will keep making them. They are actually quite useful for a lot of people when they get these boards and they want to flash them to the latest BIOS. Now this board today is going to be the ASRock, the A620AM Pro-A or Pro-A WiFi. So make sure you get the right motherboard. Links will be in the video description if you're not too sure, or basically if it looks like this. Now there's various ways you can flash this BIOS on these motherboards. You can do it from the USB flashback, which I personally like to do on a brand spanking new board, just to make sure that everything's okay and the board works. Alternatively, you can do it on a fully built system. That is an option, and you don't have to use the BIOS flashback method with the button. You can just update it from the BIOS, as long as you've got a CPU which is already supported. Some of you that will be doing this is because your CPU isn't supported out of the box. I totally get that. Or alternatively, you might just want to get all the security updates onto your board before you do your initial install, which as a security minded person, I totally agree with that and endorse it entirely. So what you're going to need, you're going to need the motherboard itself, a platform or something to rest it on. I'm going to use the motherboard box, that's absolutely fine. You need an ATX or SFX power supply, whichever you've got, that's fine, as long as it's got the main 24-pin power connector and also a 8-pin CPU or EPS connection. Those are the only two you actually need. You'll also need a USB flash drive, ideally 32 gigabytes or less, so you can format it in Windows FAT32. You can use larger drives as long as you can get it to format FAT32. We've done videos on how to do that from a Macintosh if you want to use that, or alternatively, if you've got a larger drive and you want to make a smaller partition on it, then you can also do that as well. Now, also as well, I will say, if I'm speaking too fast or I'm going too quickly, don't forget YouTube's got a really handy feature, so you can adjust the playback speed of the videos, and also you can have subtitles and stuff as well. So if you're not too sure, speaking too fast, speaking too slow, whatever, you can adjust it to suit your particular needs. Also, obviously, there will be instructions in the video description, which you can take a look at also. Failing that, if you're still getting problems, you can head over to our Discord and have a chat with us there. We'd be more than happy to try and help you out with your BIOS flashback woes. I think that is pretty much it. I think the best thing to do now is to head over to the other computer. We'll download the BIOS, rename the file and get it all prepared, and then we'll flash the BIOS onto this motherboard. So let's head over to the computer and get things done. Okay, so this is the website for the A620AM Pro-A WiFi. That's such a long name. If you scroll down, go to the support section, which is highlighted there, and then go to BIOS. I think normally it's on overview, so yeah, just go to support and then go to BIOS, and then there's all the BIOS updates. So we're in January 2026. Latest one is version 403, and actually if you look on the sticker on the motherboard, there is actually a BIOS sticker, and it'll tell you which BIOS it actually ships with. The one that we've got actually ships with version 3.3. I don't know if it's all been updated already, so I'm just going to go straight to the latest one. Also, there are some things here about the RTX 40 series GPU that can get corrupted display-wise when you're doing a BIOS update. So yeah, bear that in mind if it's a fully built system. Maybe just take your graphics card out and just use the onboard graphics if you can. But anyway, that is for the instant flash rather than the BIOS flashback. So let's download the file. We'll download it to our Windows desktop as we generally tend to, and that's going to be over and done with pretty quickly. There we go. So we can close that window down. We'll right click on this file, choose extract all, and we'll extract it to our desktop again. Now this file name will be fine if you're using the instant flash. If you're using the BIOS flashback with the USB, then pressing the button, you need to rename the file so it can recognize it. Now, if you can't see the file extension, if you go to View and then Show, you can have file name extensions. So if you haven't got that enabled, you will need that. We need to rename this to creative.rom. So you can leave the ROM on the end there. It doesn't make a difference if it's upper or lowercase. It's not case sensitive at all. When you press Enter, sometimes it will ask you about changing the file names depending where you've downloaded it from, etc., but this should be absolutely fine. So creative.rom is what we want. That's excellent. So now we can put that onto our USB drive. So I just plugged our drive in. It says untitled there, so we'll format that just to make sure that it's got the right setup on it. So it says, yeah, FAT32, that's fine. We'll go for the default allocation size and we'll remove the volume label. Sometimes that can cause problems, not always, but we'll do it anyway. Again, you get the message saying that it's going to erase everything on the disk. If you're happy with that, click OK. And there we go, format is complete, so that is done. So now we can go back to our BIOS file and we'll copy it or cut it and paste it onto our USB drive. There we go. Make sure it's the right file size as well, so it should be 32 megabytes or 32,768 kilobytes. That's absolutely fine. So we can close that down and we can take the drive out of the computer. And now we can go over to our little rig and get this flashed. Okay, so we've got our system set up. So we've got a power supply that is turned off at the moment, but turned on at the wall. I've plugged in the CPU or EPS connection to the top of the motherboard and also the 24-pin power connector. It's also probably worth having a look at the rear I/O shield so you can just familiarize yourself with which port you actually need. So on this one, it's actually going to be the one with the rectangle around it, which is the same as the circle around the BIOS flashback button. So this is going to be the lower end one of your USB 2.0 ports. So let's go ahead and plug in our USB drive. So there's the USB 2 ports and it's the bottom one there. So that's fine. The BIOS flashback button is this one here. So we're pretty much ready. So I'm going to turn on the power supply. Nothing on the board, no magic smoke. That's a great start. So what I generally tend to do is just press the button in for about 2 or 3 seconds, press and hold it and wait until you see some kind of activity. Potentially your power supply may spin up. If you've got other devices connected like fans, etc., they may start spinning as well. All we're looking for is the BIOS flashback LED to start flashing and hopefully change speeds after a few seconds, hopefully. And the whole process should take somewhere in the region of about 5 to 6 minutes. If it's taking drastically longer than that, something's definitely gone wrong and you need to retrace your steps, maybe different USB drive, maybe a slightly older BIOS. If you're jumping too many BIOSes, sometimes that can cause a problem. So you might need to just do it like on a kind of monthly or yearly basis if you want to update it that way. It's not an exact science, so you do have to just go through the motions, unfortunately. But anyway, let's press the power button or the BIOS flashback button, press and hold it for a couple of seconds, and there we go. You can see the flashing LED on the motherboard there, hopefully. If this is built, obviously you'd have to see it through the actual view hole in the back there, which is kind of tiny. So it's flashed a couple of times. It looks like it's changed speed very slightly. Our power supply doesn't appear to have spun up. It is a very low power draw, so that's absolutely fine. And our diagnostic D-LEDs are still in the off position, which is great. I think actually after it does its reboot, after it's done the flash, I think those will probably light up, but we'll see what happens. I'll give you a close-up of the board now so you can see what it looks like a little bit closer. Again, this should take somewhere in the region of about 5 to 6 minutes to complete. And there we go, the BIOS has started flashing a little bit faster now. So that's a good sign, so we're on to the next part of the process. Again, just keep an eye on your watch or clock and just see how long it's taken in total. We've got some fast flashing going on now. So I'm pretty sure that is now sending the flash to the BIOS and actually programming it. And the light has gone out. I've not heard any click from the power supply whatsoever, although I didn't hear it click on. So it would appear that that has finished. Excellent stuff. I was expecting more excitement, but unfortunately there is none. So that is pretty much it. Now we can turn off the power supply and remove the USB sticks. We don't need that in any longer. At this point, if you've got a bare system, you can just input your CPU in, some RAM, connect up a GPU if you want to, or just use the onboard and just test it, make sure that it actually works. That is entirely up to you. Obviously, if you've got a fully built system, you can just go ahead now and turn the system on and it should boot up as normally. Again, if you get any problems, feel free to join our Discord and ask any questions you may have there. But otherwise, I think that's going to be pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, smash the like button. If you want to see more content like this on a daily basis, maybe consider hitting subscribe. And also, if you do subscribe, click on the bell and then click on the all notifications. That way you'll be notified of future video releases. But for now, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. And hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.